What if I told you I'm turning this channel into a giant social media experiment and you're a part of it? This channel has always been about trying new things and a couple different topics. But now we're going to go full throttle and really test out the theories and day trading attention, jab, 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 right hook, and the day trading economy and the thank you economy, as well as, all the teachings of Gary Vee. Incorporating everything that he talks about while still keeping it kind of our own. Some out of necessity, some on purpose. We're doing this, some out of necessity, and some of it we're doing on purpose. But we got a lot of stuff going on, and everyone has a lot of stuff going on. So to figure this out, we really need to kind of test it and see. Because imagine if what Gary Vee is saying is true, that it's no longer social media, but interest media. And it no longer really matters what your channel is about, because you need a place to post. And the algorithm will find the people that are interested. And I'm a little concerned when I have followers that want a certain type of video or something. I don't know how they're going to react to that. But then again, I'm posting every day. And most followers post. I'm posting. But then again, I'm posting every day. And most YouTubers post at most 2 or 3 times a week. Some post once a week. Some post once a month. So when you consider that, the subscribers can either be interested. Rattlesnake. Those things hurt. Can they either be interested in the video and click play, or not interested and move on? And not like it hurts you. The only way it would hurt you is if that subscriber is like, I'm getting too many notifications. But they can always... The dog is crazy. It's cool today. And it's the first walk she's had for 3 days. For 2 days. So she's a little excited. I always feel guilty when I travel, because I know she's wanting to get a little bit more exercise. My mom, she'll be 85 here in about a week. I can't have her walk her. She'd end up falling on her face looking like me. So I'm going to really follow what Gary Vee is teaching, talking about. I'm in the stand challenge, and he's doing these daily challenges or weekly challenges to kind of make suggestions on how to tweak your social media platform to make it more. I'm doing a Gary Vee challenge, and he's making, giving everyone suggestions on what videos to make and how to tweak your social platforms and how to get more digital sales. And the first one is to have your people on social understand who you are. Well, that alone is different in what we're doing. We just go right into the point we're trying to get across. So officially, the experiment begins Friday. But when you look back at my first 2 videos, that's kind of what I did. And maybe it's because I've read all his books. but I just felt like I needed to have some sort of base, some sort of a point of origin in case the followers ever cared who I was. So I made the story about my accident and kind of the challenges I was going through as I went through it. Now the channel's evolved to a lot more than that now. Now it's more about trying to grow a YouTube channel, the travels I've done, but the travel part is hard. And putting together videos that are both interesting and have value is hard. I might need to relook at how I look at value. Maybe the value is in the beauty of the pictures. If I approach it that way, it might not be as difficult. But, I guess the value, if I do a Holiday Inn review of the water park hotel in Orlando, will be the content of that review. But, you gotta ask yourself what others think value is and not make that decision for them. Just because you do or don't think something's valuable doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Good morning. How you guys doing? Good. Yeah, no surgery. So pretty happy about that. Yeah. There's some ice. He's like 91 and always cold. He wears that jacket in the heat of the summer. A little chilly today. But it's important that we don't make that decision for the viewer. Test it. Fall in love with and, as I said in the last video, and do both. See, don't make the decision for the viewers. You'll be shocked. There'll be videos you thought were going to do horrible, or in my case, videos I thought were going to just be monsters and get like 3 views. It's very frustrating. I'm clinging on to the hope that the content truly is good, and eventually the algorithm will put it right with the right people. That's the other thing. You got to be patient, and you can't look at views. I look at views more to make sure I didn't create a disaster. And when the data shows that it wasn't great, then I run it through some things. I play the game for ChatGPT and ask, is it that bad? Or what can I do to improve it? I'll run it through Video IQ. Get the rating on it. A lot of time it's the thumbnail. And that's a challenge. Because I just hate, I think sometimes in these thumbnails, we lose genuineness and we lose sincerity. So I'm not quite willing to go there yet. Maybe. But I look at Gary's thumbnails and they don't do that kind of stuff. So I think it's just a matter of getting your audience, or the audience, the viewers, used to your thumbnail style. Now, we can talk about why I chose Gary Vee. 3 years, 5 years ago, probably 4 years ago, I didn't know who the hell Gary Vee was. And, I listened to a couple of his videos, the cursing. I was from medical business. The only time I heard people cuss like that was when numbers were down and we were in a lot of trouble. And it was just kind of taboo in the medical industry to talk like that. But then as I got to know these C-suite people, I learned they talk like that all the time. It's very interesting. It was like I was so naive. I'm a very naive person sometimes. And so all Gary was doing is just keeping it real 100% of the time. That's just who he was. And he wasn't going to change it because that was the format that everybody wanted. I think we all have a little bit of Gary in us. I remember I was at a big international medical convention and we had people from all over the world come. And it was like 8 p.m. And there was a party I was supposed to go to. And I just went on my walk because this convention, this meeting went from like 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. You had no personal time. And it was in California. It was cold, so I threw on a hoodie. And my boss sent me a text, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm on a walk." He's like, "Well, you need to get here now." I'm like, "All right." So I pop in with running shorts and my hoodie and my tennis shoes. And my boss is like, "What are you wearing?" I'm like, "Look, you guys have monopolized my time from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and this is my time. If you want me to come to this thing, this is what I'm wearing." Now, I was very good at my job, and I knew this outfit wasn't going to make him the happiest because he was very big on perception. And you know, at the time I was flying 125,000 miles a year, and I always wanted to fly in comfort. So that's why I wore when I flew. And the looks I got going into first class like that, they're like, "Hey, you need to keep on moving, bud." It was just enjoyable. Just because the amount of people that judge you by what you wear frustrated me. And so back in my 20s, I decided I was not going to be the guy that had the big watch and had the blingy clothes and the fancy car. I wanted a Lexus because it was comfortable, because I was in it 8 hours a day. And it was a safe, inexpensive car. Turns out the car saved my life. But so it was a good decision. But I wanted to be successful because of my abilities, not because of my looks, not because of my fake it till you make it attitude. I do not like fake it till you make it. Talk about cringe. I don't like the word cringe, but I do cringe when I hear fake it till you make it. Because either you have the hard work, either you have it within you. And maybe this comes from my upbringing in Muncie, Indiana, or the Midwest, because there is a difference in how you're raised and how you're brought up and how your work ethic is. But having that Midwestern work ethic, you worked until you were done. And if you weren't done, you didn't stop. It really didn't matter because the job needed to get done. And probably in the Midwest, in the early 1900s, late 1800s, it was often could be a life or death situation. So you needed to get it done. You didn't really have a choice. Now, sales isn't life or death, of course. But I wanted to make sure that when people saw me, no matter what I was wearing, they'd be like, "Oh, but he might dress like that, but he's very good at what he does." And that's more or less what happened. But these Europeans and heads of companies, and the way they looked at me at that meeting before they knew who I was. And then the greeting I got after it was announced who I was and what I had accomplished the very next day was like night or day, like night and day. And that's why I'm kind of like a don't judge a book by its cover type like thing. Because, and I bring it on by wearing something like this while I get on a plane and go to first class. But, you know, Mark Cuban kind of has the same theory. Gary Vee absolutely has the same theory. I don't know. I don't know why I do it. I think it's to perhaps trying to educate them on how they need to have a better open mind. It's just, it's important to me. Plus, it's important I travel in comfort. So, you know, I'm hoping to document the trip to Brazil in a couple weeks if we go. We're still trying to get that emergency passport and stuff. So you'll see how I travel. It's kind of hectic, but sometimes that's the only way you can do it. International travel is hectic. It's confusing. You might miss a flight. There's a language barrier. Not everyone speaks English, and that's okay. And not everyone wants to help you when you speak English, especially now. I'll let you decide the reasons for that, but we're not as welcome as we once were internationally, believe it or not. In some areas. In other areas, we're loved. It's the most, you know, during the first Trump presidency, I went to China, and I was a little concerned. China's not an easy place to get to. You gotta have a visa, you gotta have a purpose. They track you everywhere. But boy, one, I'm 6'2", so it's not like I'm a giant, but there I was a giant, because those people were a little height deprived. And they couldn't have been more welcoming. They were just fascinated. They wanted to hear about what Trump was like. And Australia, half the Australians love Trump, half of them hate him. It's just like here. It's very interesting. Everyone is fascinated. Because again, not that I want to compare myself to him, but another person who kind of is setting his own path. He does some crazy shit. Whether you think it's good or bad, it's nutty. So we're gonna try and do some crazy shit here. With the origin story, kind of tells you how I grew up and gives you a little bit of an idea. Of how I became who I am, and maybe why I became who I am. But the secret, in my mind, is and always will be hard work. I think I got here by hard work. And I continue to work hard, even though it's unclear what those rewards are going to be, what the outcome's going to be. I'm learning a lot, so that's good. So I'm bettering myself. I don't know if I'm developing skills that will be useless or will be useful, but either way, I'm developing them. And in all seriousness, of course, I continue because I think they're going to be useful, and which is why we're doing the 365 Day Challenge. Morning. How you doing? Yeah, thank you. People are so nice. Yeah, I mean, this is not the easiest combination with a dog that pulls. Sometimes I look down, I think I'm forgetting something. and then got to carry the poop bags and everything else. So, and you know, like that interaction, it just makes me happy. And I think that we all should do things that make us happy. And that is probably a great way to end this one. So if you could do one thing today, just do one thing that makes you happy, or do one thing that starts you on the path that you think will make you happy. It might change, but that's okay. The feeling you get knowing you're on the way to start that path, that the journey has begun, will be amazing. You'll see. And if you decide to do that, you do me a favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, get more content like this, and just follow the whole journey of how this experiment happens. It's either going to be a colossal failure, a so-so event, or an amazing end product with a channel that is growing leaps and bounds. And we'll see. We're at video 43 since the beginning, and number 37 in a row, I believe, or 33 in a row. So thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to do something that makes you happy, and do something that starts you down the path to happiness. And come back tomorrow. Do something that makes you happy, and do something that starts you down the path of happiness. And when you do, put in the description below what it was you did. Let's inspire others together. And together, we'll use this channel as a giant experiment, and we'll give you the right blueprint to success. Hopefully you can get there before me. Your success, my success, has nothing to do with anyone but me. Remember that. That's probably the first path to happiness, is that you do it because of you. You do it for you. Of course, you do it for your family. You do it so you can earn a living, but most importantly, you do it for you. And that's the first step. So have a great one. We'll talk to you guys soon. Until we see each other again. Bye-bye.